the Jo Lockett Show. Lock it in, yeah. It's the Jo Lockett Show. Lock it in. Are you ready to be entertained, educated? A little stimulation for your brain. Lock it in. Are you ready to learn? Are you ready to laugh? Are you ready to love? Then lock it in, yeah. It's the Jo Lockett Show. Lock it in, yeah. It's the Jo Lockett Show. Lock it in, lock it in. It's the Jo Lockett Show.
What's up, everybody? It is 5 minutes after the hour. You guys locked into your favorite eating ride. How you guys doing, man? You locked into your Jo Lockett Show. We got so much to do today. Doki Ohio gozaimasu. O genki desu. What's going on, Gregory? How you doing? Everybody good? Man, they said our sound on social media is good, nephew. What's up, nephew? You good?
Hold on. Yeah, I'm good. I'm doing a lot of stuff over here, so multitasking is a little hard.
I got it. Hey, cut my shot on social media and bring and cut it up to the, like, just keep it too low. If you don't mind, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, how y'all doing, y'all? I should have took a look at that before, but yeah, cut my shot up and just put it like right there.
You can't just look at your forehead.
No, bring it up, sir. Bring it on up. On up.
No, that pack. I'm not gonna have the
right there.
Shot.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
You don't want to show what you got, y'all.
Yeah, man. Listen, leave her. Hey, Monique, how's it going, baby? This boy. It's okay. Leave her right there, sir. It's okay.
That's the wall, Joe. All right, yeah, that's your view. That's your view. Mine look good. You want the wall? That's crazy. See, like you laying down.
Yeah, I am. I'm relaxed.
Oh my God,
I'm relaxed.
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
I'm doing good. See, like I said, I like my shot to be tight in front. You got my, the way you got my camera set right now. It's like I'm a fat woman, a fat man, right? And that camera facing down on me.
Man, you don't get on. So
see, the camera needed to be lower. You know what I'm saying? The camera needed to be lower because I had it set. You changed it. I had it set where I wanted it because it was coming straight this way.
You got the camera going up to the wall.
No, but like I said, I had my camera going here. That camera, when it come down, it shows too much here, sir. I like news anchor. I like the camera just to sit right here and get this part here.
The news anchor, they got him proportioned.
Yeah. So that's what
down.
No, but the camera sits about like right here. This camera we got sitting in our studio is like up touching the ceiling right now, sir. I'm just saying.
Okay.
So I need to it's all good.
Okay.
How y'all doing? See, this is what happens when I walk in like 1 minute before the show. So that's on me. That's completely on me.
Oh my goodness.
Monique, how you doing, baby? JC, how you doing? We just having a show meeting in front of the world.
Pre-production
show meeting in front of the world.
Yeah, pre-production like a mug.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, we're just doing this in front of the world. But you know something? That's why we can do this because we can't get fired. Who's gonna fire us?
I don't know. I think Joe.
Yeah, and Joe ain't finna fire because Joe walked in literally like 1 minute before the show started. Hey, how is everybody doing? MD, how y'all doing? Oh, nephew says Ohio gozaimasu. Tam's in the building. How you doing, baby? Tam's with the yams.
I can do it now. Ohio God. Gozaimasu.
What the what?
Dog, I had it.
Ohio gozaimasu. Ohio gozaimasu.
You put the extra on that though.
No, it's Ohio gozaimasu.
Nah, you say it. Now you say it. I want to hear you say it.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Yeah, you put a little bit extra on it. It's too much essence at the end of your gozaimasu.
No, but if you speak it like a Japanese would speak it, it's like Ohio gozaimasu.
That's what I wanted to do. That's what I was talking about. The Z sound. I want that.
But you got to enunciate the word. You just saying Z. The hell is the Z? You saying the Z? It's Ohio
gozaimasu.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Ohio gozaimasu.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I hear
there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, I'm getting up. Yeah.
全然ダメだけどさ、しょうがないよ。
No, you know what? I don't like you
日
saying
本語頑張ってね。
you talking trash.
No, I just said it's okay. 気にしないで. Don't worry about it.
But that was sarcastic, and I ain't like it.
いいじゃん別に. Don't worry about it.
Oh my goodness.
問題ないんだよ. What's going on, everybody? What is going on? Tokidoki laughing her behind off.
Yeah, I just got off work, man. I ain't trying to deal with this.
But you know, people don't know what Tokidoki fly means, right? You know what Tokidoki fly means?
No.
Sometimes fly.
Sometimes?
Tokidoki means sometimes.
What?
The word Tokidoki means sometimes. So to sometimes
but nothing, fly. Sometimes fly?
Yeah, Tokidoki fly.
But she fly.
We know that, but I'm just saying that's what Tokidoki means.
Okie dokie.
Tokidoki means sometimes.
Okie dokie. Man, okay. Both got weird names.
And she's on TikTok saying, "Yep."
Anyway,
if y'all didn't know Tokidoki fly, she's actually in Japan right now, and Japan is now 4 or 5. It's 6 o'clock in the morning in Japan. It is what Tuesday is Wednesday morning, 6 o'clock in Wednesday morning.
They beat us to the next day.
Yeah. So she's up 6 o'clock in the morning. She's probably in bed watching the show. So thank you so much, Tokidoki, for taking the time to watch the show each and every day when you do get time. Thank you. Hontoni arigatou gozaimasu. That's it that you're talking about.
How was your day, sir? I moved on.
Man, I was busy. I don't know what today. What's up, Jay McClinton? Had a lot of running around to do today when I woke up this morning. So did a couple of videos, did some editing, and I still didn't get everything out what I need to get to for the Kisa and Joe show for tomorrow. I got to get ready because tomorrow we're gonna be on Fox 6. Thursday we're gonna be on Fox 6. Thursday. Yeah, I think it's Thursday we're gonna be on Fox 6. So there's a lot of the small stuff that I've been doing and getting the outfits ready and all that stuff, and just busy, man. Just busy. But we got a lot. Tokidoki said she said she love you. She love y'all. I appreciate that. I want to try the coffee you had this morning. Man, that butter salt coffee, man.
Oh, that crap changed my life.
And Chrissy, that show you saw was a rerun from last week. That show, we do that show once a week on Wednesdays, but we'll be back at the Filter Coffee Parlor Wednesday at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Man, hey, D. That coffee, I'm a coffee guy now because of that coffee.
I told you that coffee, that butter.
That's so
that butterscotch.
I've been trying to recreate it this whole week.
Really? That salted butterscotch?
Yes. I was like,
man,
I didn't
that
know
salted butterscotch,
like it like
bro.
this.
That salted butterscotch is the bum. I like coffee, but because I went there, when we went there the first time, I said, "What's your most popular coffee?" And he was like,
salted butterscotch.
He said it's salted butterscotch. I'm like, okay, well, I tried it. I ain't had nothing there since.
Man, I don't want nothing else. I've been recreating that coffee for the last 4 days.
Well, you're gonna have to ask him what the recipe is if they tell you.
Yeah, he probably not, but I need to ask.
All right, guys, you guys are locked into your favorite eating right. How y'all doing out there, man? We got a lot to get into on a Tough Conversation Tuesday. We got anything going on in entertainment news?
We got a few stuff going on.
What's going on? D, what's going on? Monique's in the house. And today on the show, and if you're getting entertainment news, we're talking about, of course, some things going on in relationships. And I really want to talk about a couple of things. And I put it out there today. Well, I haven't put it out there, but I want to talk about what do parents do now when their kid don't want to go to college, and this college is actually necessary for their kids right now.
I also got a
is college necessary? And if your kids don't want to go to college and they're 18, 19 years old, what should you do with your kids? What should they do? Because that's a big thing going on in America today when it comes to families right now, right? Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Kids graduating and they're not leaving home. Is college worth sending your kids? Is it worth sending your kids to college, number one? And then if your kids don't go to college, they're 18, 19 years old without any skills, what are you to do? And how long should your kids be able to stay at home? Let's talk about it. It's the Jo Lockett Show.
I talked with a few of the kids today about it while I was at work.
Hey, HR.
I had the high school.
Hey, H-Bay. Hey, Rachel. How's it going?
Yeah, those conversations hit home. All righty. First things first, what we got with entertainment news. Let me get this.
So entertainment news, we got what? Got some stuff coming in entertainment news.
Yes, we do.
Kid, they don't want to go to college. They need to find a trade. Okay, but how are they going to find a trade? Let's talk about this seriously, y'all. How are they going to find a trade at 18, 19? Are you sending them to trade school? Are you sending them to a company to get a trade? Because I don't see a lot of that actually happening for our kids. Guys, hang tight. That's what our topic is going to be about today on the Tough Conversation Tuesday. Parents, we got some tough things we're going to be talking about. You guys are locked into your favorite eating route. Let's get it in. Entertainment news with the one and only nephew. Let's go, nephew.
All righty. First things first. We got Lizzo today.
Lizzo?
Yes.
Lizzo? Tell me talking about girl Lizzie?
Yeah, big Lizzo. Big Lizzo. Not the little ones, the big Lizzo.
Okay. Let's go.
First off, I want to say in the video, she looked beautiful.
She is beautiful.
Yeah.
She beautiful.
Folks need to put a little bit more respect on big girls. Big girls that can carry their weight look different. All right, that's what I want to say. Yeah,
okay.
I'll stand on my lid. You ain't got to say nothing, mister. I want to stay on my fit.
Yeah,
all right, I love your body, whatever size you is, if you can get. And she cared. All right. First off, that's why I want to get off my chest.
Let me cover up here.
Mm-hmm. What you covering up for?
Cover up.
Oh my
I'm
goodness.
all shy over here.
Anyway, we got Lizzo. First off, she had this PSA for everybody that keep talking about her, like me and you.
I ain't said nothing, Lizzo.
Some of you think that I have thick skin. I don't. I never have. I never will. Everything you say deeply, deeply hurts me, affects me, keeps me up at night. You have to be nice to me. That's the deal moving forward, okay?
And
what?
That was the because it was a voiceover, it's a TikTok.
Okay.
This TikTok should just repost it. But she posted on the post, I literally just be minding my business. Please keep my name out your mouth. I can imagine what the blank was.
Yeah.
But out your mouth, unless it's something positive or real, please and thank you. I'm pretty sure this is going based off of what was said about her multiple times, but especially recently, the last week, if you keep up with the Joe Budden show, he has a side show called Humans where he interviewed Candace Owens. And if anybody know Candace Owens, homegirl, baby girl is controversial. And she definitely was controversial in the interview.
Not controversial. She's just full of crap.
I mean, full of crap on your end, controversy on others.
She's not controversial.
Don't mince words.
She but she's an intelligent black woman that talks very intelligent and very articulate in what she says. And when she speaks like this and she articulates what she says and gives some facts behind it, it seems like it's real. But I'm gonna say this about Candace Owens. I think she's a very intelligent black woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but here's the thing I'm gonna say about her. Everything you do is about the black community, number one. And when I look at Candace Owens and I listen to her, I'm in the same business. I understand it, but everything she does, she makes her money off of denigrating the black community without any solutions. That's my problem with her. I don't mind you point out the problem to the white folks and to the world. I don't have a problem with that, Candace. But the problem that I have with you is this right here. What are the solutions that you're pointing out about us? And it's very hard for a lot of people to listen to Candace Owens, and I'm not mad because I date everybody, but you're married to a white man. And a lot of your content is about black men, right? So again, I'm not knocking her. I respect the game. I respect what she's doing, you know what I'm saying, on who she is as a black woman. But at the same time, when you're talking about the community, make sure that you're giving some solution to what the hell you're talking about when you're talking about us, because no matter how the white folks bring you in, no matter how much they love you and give you money for saying these things about your community, when it comes down to what they got to choose between you, them, or your black ass, they're not choosing you. Just like black folks going to choose black folks, white folks going to choose white folks. You can be paid the money to be the puppet to do what you got to go do. I understand that that's the business. Like I said, a lot of things she say is very, 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 very true. But what's the solutions to what Candace Owens actually put out there about our community, about the black women, about the black men in our community? And when the last time y'all seen Candace Owens in a black neighborhood? When the last time you seen Candace Owens at a black school doing anything? Every time you see her, she's with somebody that's a celebrity. Okay, she's on a big platform talking about us. But what is she doing? What is the Candace Owens Foundation doing to give back to the black community and empower us? That's the problem that I got with Candace Owens. Not knocking her game, but don't just talk about us. Put solutions in our communities too.
Well, I just mentioned this and we'll go on.
Okay.
But she did address some of those, and in that interview that she was very controversial for with Lizzo, she did address exactly what you were talking about.
She gave some solutions
and gave solutions.
What was her? Okay, I got to listen to her because
I would say listen to it.
Okay, because every time I listen to her
she said that's a big misconception with her.
Because she don't.
Look, watch the interview. I was like, I can't go into it. I saw the whole thing, so I know she mentioned all of what you was talking about.
No, but I'm saying
you ain't the only one that said that.
But did she give solutions in that interview?
Yeah.
Okay. And what's she gonna do about it? She gonna help?
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Hey, next up, guess who else is joining the podcast scene?
Somebody join our podcast?
Ours?
Yeah.
No. But they're making their own podcast.
Oh, we got somebody else gonna make a podcast. Okay, who?
Lamar Odom and Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh Lord.
Get ready to launch a new sports podcast.
Okay, so hold on. Lamar Odom from the Lakers, the basketball player.
The old basketball player.
And Caitlyn Jenner is the transgender that used to be
fired.
They used to be a famous tennis player, and his name was, what was his real name?
Bruce
Jenner.
Bruce,
and he was married to Kim Kardashian mother.
Yeah, Bruce is. I'm sorry, Caitlyn and Lamar Odom are about to start a new.
Well, they're gonna get a lot
podcast.
of. They're gonna get a lot of ratings just for people to actually.
Just off the strength, I'm watching this. I don't even care about what you got to say. Your real podcast.
No, MD said they're gonna end up a couple.
Huh? No. Because that's his brother-in-law. I mean, father-in-law. Ain't it?
No, they're divorced.
Oh yeah.
And he's a transgender now, so no. So I don't know what he would have been, but no, they're not.
Wow.
No, but he's a transgender now, right? So
he is.
So
you would address him as one of their mothers.
So hold on. So wait a minute. So
you would address him
so
as one of their
transgender means he's now a woman, correct? I'm not trying to think so he's a woman now, right?
Yes.
So he definitely wouldn't be brother-in-law.
No.
He'd be sister-in-law.
Sister-in-law.
But they're no longer married, so they're just friends.
But he dated his daughter, right? So that would be his father-in-law.
No.
Or mother-in-law. God, dog.
I mean, is it right to say transgender-in-law?
No, that sounds worse than everything.
I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but I don't know I would just call him Caitlyn Jenner.
Look, we'll have to.
I just call him Caitlyn Jenner.
We are not versed in this topic to deep dive.
No, I'm not going to deep dive, but no, I would. I really would like to know how that actually works when you're change when you change who you are and you have kids. How do people address you? Or how your kids fiancés address you now, right?
That's a good question.
I'm not even being funny. I'm just asking how that actually really works. I'm not trying to be funny here, but yeah, that's gonna be an interesting part. So what are they gonna talk about though?
I mean, they got sports credentials. They can talk whatever they want. Move on.
Well, I thought, but did you see before we go any further? Did you see that LeBron James and JJ Redick got a podcast now?
What?
Yeah,
LeBron left the bar stool?
No, he still got that, but he got a podcast with JJ Redick where they're detailing out the NBA, the game of it. They're actually talking.
Oh, they're going into the actual
details.
That's dope.
I ain't know like what Kobe Bryant did with the details show that he had.
Yeah. And I love that when he did it.
JJ Redick and LeBron James now got a podcast and they're doing that.
Yeah, I was never Kobe, and I'm not a LeBron fan.
Right.
But whenever they're going through the nicks and crannies of the sport, and it's them two talking about it, don't nobody else got no more credentials outside of King James on how the game need to be.
But I definitely want to see the podcast with Lamar Odom and
I want to see both.
Yeah, I want to see both of them. I saw the LeBron James. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
If you're a basketball head, you like it.
Yeah, I'm definitely tuning in. That's dope.
Yeah,
that's really, really dope.
All right, what else we got?
Last on entertainment news. This really, really just came out. I mean, this is immediately just came out. Guess we're getting sued again.
Getting sued again?
Sued again.
Tasha Mack.
Jonathan Majors.
What the hell he get sued for now?
Oh, another ex then came out and is getting ready to sue him for defamation, assault, and battery.
Is he still dating Megan Good?
Yeah, he's still. I mean, he gonna need a lot of good for all the bad that keep getting on his dough.
Oh my God.
Pun intended. I am getting this from Instagram and on the Shade Room, so take all of this with a grain of salt. According to Hollywood Reporter, Jonathan Majors has been sued by his ex-girlfriend Grace Jabari. Now, I'm not for sure, but I know she was one of the ones that just got talked about, or either the one he just got out of case with, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know, bro.
Like I said, I could be wrong, but I think this is the lady he just got out of case with.
I don't know, bro.
But apparently she says she's suing him for defamation, assault, and battery. This new lawsuit comes after Jonathan was found guilty on 2 misdemeanor charges of harassment and assault from a case by Grace back in March. So I was right, in 2023.
Someone just said on TikTok that Megan Good confessed to love for him.
Oh, yeah.
She should have stayed with.
Look, I ain't the one to say who you should have stayed with and who you should have left.
I'm saying she should have came to Joe. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying where she should go. I'm saying she should have came to Joe.
Should have came to Joe.
Man, she left the pastor, and I think I'm looking at Jonathan Majors. I'm looking at Jo Lockett. I'm just gonna say,
you can compete.
I can compete. All I'm saying is I can compete. Now the pastor, that's a little bit different.
He with Jesus,
and he that dude. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. He can pull him, right? But Jonathan Majors,
he like, I can pull her. If she loved Jonathan Majors, she could have loved Jo Lockett.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if Jonathan Majors can pull Megan Good, I'm good. I'm good, bro. If Jonathan Majors can pull Megan, but he pull, so bro, I can pull anything out there. I can. I ain't mad, but I'm saying if he got her, I'm looking at Jonathan, I'm looking at me. We both like, yeah, bro, yeah. So if he mess up and it get too tough, I'm going off to Megan Good.
Oh my God,
I'm going off to Megan Good. I'm just saying.
Look, we finna look out for this.
Yeah,
I'm sure this is gonna break all types of hell and hot water. Now, I will say this girl needs to sit down somewhere.
Who, Megan Good?
No, not Megan. Not Megan.
Oh, talking about Jonathan Majors.
This Grace girl. Oh. Yo, bro, it does look desperate. Now, whether or not this is true or not, if it's true, then cool. Do what you got to do for your truth. But outside of what you already won in, because you won that case, right, this crap looks petty and desperate.
Well, everybody trying to get some money, man.
And it's clear as that you trying to get money at this point.
Yeah,
because what else you got?
Because I don't think she wanted. They don't really. A lot of times, these women that are suing, some of them want justice, but some of them are going just for the money grab and hoping they're going to settle before they go to court.
Yeah.
So, yeah. At the end of the day, man, to each his own. Be careful out there. But Megan Good. I'm Jo Lockett with the Jo Lockett Show, the Keith and Joe Show. If it doesn't work out, just give my profile a look on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, ma'am. I'm just saying Megan Good. Just send my shout out to Megan Good. It don't hurt. Closed mouths don't get fed, sir. Closed mouths don't get fed. Just saying.
Okay. That has been the entertainment and Megan Good. Oh my God, you finna at her too.
At Megan Good.
Hey, one of y'all at Megan Good. That's been the news.
Yeah.
Everything that's pretty much recent for today.
Yeah. All right, nephew. Thank you for the entertainment news. Some of it I could lose for real. Some of that I really just didn't need to know. You guys are locked in 2020. It's 29 minutes after that hour. I appreciate you guys locking into one of the wildest shows on the internet, y'all. We appreciate you. Caitlyn Jenner and Lamar Odom is starting their podcast together. Megan Good and Jonathan Majors are being sued,
and she love him.
And Lizzo, and she's deeply in love and confessed her love for him. But Megan Good sticking hard to boy. But also okay, Lizzo.
So you hollering at Megan Good, so I'm gonna holler at Lizzo.
Oh, you can do Lizzo. Go ahead.
That's crazy. That's crazy, Joe. That's crazy, Joe. She getting really good about how she carrying her weight. It's not sloppy like how it was when she first came out.
I haven't
We-
said anything. Lizzo is just not my type.
I know that. I got
That's it.
that. I
But
got
I
that.
haven't
You
said
know,
anything.
you ain't with the big girl. I'm just letting other people know
Okay.
she carrying that weight pretty good.
Okay.
But I mean, maybe I'm just in the phase right now where I like fat girls. maybe I'm in that phase.
If that's what you like, that's what you like,
That's what I
Brian.
like
ain't mad
right
at
now.
you.
That's what I like right now.
Who that knocking at the door? You got a big girl coming.
Oh man, I checked the door for real. Oh, hey, Lizzo watch the door for real.
y'all should have seen this, nephew.
Lizzo watch the door for real.
Bruh. Hey,
Hey, she gonna make sure I eat.
hey, I ain't mad. Hey, she gonna take care of you. All right, guys. It's 30 minutes after you like to tell your favorite eating ride. Boy, you should have seen your face. I could if Lizzo came, I could see I'll be doing the show for a long time for myself, and I'll never be up out of here.
I'm so done.
All right, guys. Now, coming up in the show today, the one and only Keisha should be joining us a little bit later on the show today, y'all, to talk about our brand new show that we're doing and the what we'll be talking about on tomorrow on the show. So she's gonna hang out with us for a little while. But I want to get into this, America. I hope you guys enjoyed entertainment news, but let's get into this. It's 2024, and a lot of our kids, we're parents, and the parents that got kids that are 18, 19 years old, 20 years old, they're graduating, right? There's another class getting ready to graduate in a few months from now. Is college, number one, really worth it, America? Is it worth going to college now with AI coming out, and everything going forward in retail, in medical, in administrative, in the entertainment business? Is it worth their kids going to college now? You're spending the money for them to go to college on a lot of stuff that probably won't be even around in the next 3 to 5 years, and that soon. So what does college look like now? And if your kids are not going to college, I want y'all to be straight here. It's the Jo Lockett Show. Let's really be focused here. I know y'all saying a trade, but these kids are not trying to get a trade. These kids are not leaving high school trying to go into a trade school. So real talk, America, on the Jo Lockett Show. What are we doing as parents? And what is the next step for our kids when they graduate high school? And how long should our kids be allowed to stay at home after high school? What are they going to do? Because the trade is what? And a lot of kids ain't trying to become a plumber, electrician, a doctor, or a nurse, or a lawyer. Those are a few kids, but let's go say the other 70% or 75% of those kids. What are they doing? I was in Walmart and Target today, nephew, and there were no cashiers except for 2 with registers. Everybody else was doing self-checkout. In some places now that I see, they got little machines that goes around that cleans the aisles at night now. So they don't need the nighttime.
You barely got janitors.
Exactly. So real talk, what are we doing right now? And here's the other big thing. Are we as parents in 2024 equipped to even give our kids any advice? Because we don't know, because we didn't see this coming, not this quickly. So what we was preparing them for, the avenues that we knew, the A, B's, and C's that we knew that we could get our kids prepared for, they about to be gone. So what do we truly tell our kids? What is the conversation that we're having when we don't even have the answers ourselves to talk to our kids? Let's get into it. It's the Jo Lockett Show. Go ahead, nephew.
First off, like I said, I did have this conversation with some high schoolers today. And I even started it early with a few middle schoolers.
Okay.
And I get where you're coming from as far as with kids not wanting to go to trade school. But I also think how we speak about trade school still has a small little bit of a negative connotation to it, or you don't mention it at all. Like some of these kids don't even think of trade school as a possible or one of options. And when I laid it to my class, I laid it to them in this type of way right here. Because I asked them, hey, what you want to do when it's all over with? You got any plans? Some of them be like, well, I'm gonna go to here, or I'm gonna go to the service, or no, I don't want to go to the service. I got my mind set on just working, or I don't know at all. And I laid it out to a few students, and I was like, you can do this angle if you would like. And this is how I would give it to my kids.
Okay.
As soon as they hit middle school for me. But how I laid it out for them, I was like, hey, think about it along these lines. If you don't have a set up plan, or you have the idea that you do want to go seek another type of education, regardless on what it is, if you find you something that can be considered or is a trade, you need to go into that. Consider that just an option. And if you do, you'll set up for what your main goal is so much better. And this is why I said them like that. I was like, yo, big dog, how old are you? What you want to go to school for? He was like, yo, I want to go to school to play basketball. And then I had another one that was a football player. And then I had one more person, Hispanic. He was a soccer player. It's like, great. Y'all three right there. Not saying y'all gonna fail, but y'all already know in the 3 sports y'all in, just the rarity of what it is to be pro.
Exactly.
You just getting to the next stage. Let's be 100. All 3 of y'all except walk-ons. So that makes your rating for whatever it is, if they good, even lower. What are you doing while you're in school? How are you expecting to make money? Haven't you heard of starving students?
Right.
And I was like, yo, if I were you, your first 2 years, whether you want to take a break or not, try to get a trade. Your trade can help pay for you while you're in school. Your trade can help you make money, so you're not just up here relying on your folks, and you'll be making damn near the same amount of money as your folks. All because you went through the extra effort of 2 years or 3 years of a trade. When you're going to school for a nurse, you can do these small little trades that have you with a degree in at least 2 years, and you'll be making money on the side while you're going to school to be what you want to be. It'll be no excuses for it, but you got to be willing to take the patience with it. And it's got to be something you want to do. Because if you're just doing it just to do it, you're not going to put your forced effort in it, and you're going to be wasting time.
And so it goes back, like I said, what you say makes a hell of a lot of sense. But are parents equipped now to tell their kids that in middle school?
How do you need to be equipped?
Because a lot of parents don't right now, bro. The average parent is working 9 to 5 right now, blue collar workers. And just let's say that's about 80% of America right now.
Yeah.
They don't know a damn thing about Chat GPT, and they don't know what is coming down the turnpike for real, for real. They heard about it, but they're too busy living their life, so they don't see what's about to happen, right? So they can't inform their kids too much on what they're doing, because most parents don't see the scale that things are going to change at, because they're busy, right? That's the average American. People who are in the business, that's in the know, they do understand, right? But now most people, if you talk to most parents out there, bro, they done heard about a Chat GPT and never used it. They done heard about AI and think it don't apply to them.
Look, this is what I'll say to those parents. While the use of AI is around and we don't know how fast or when they're going to be implementing it for stuff, the best thing you can do is to give them real life stuff. Yo, if you finna go to school, get your kid accustomed to working.
But working on, but okay.
No. That because I don't want the parents to overthink it. Because if you overthink it, you're not gonna make a move. You're not, because you're gonna be trying to think 2 or 3 steps ahead of a freaking computer that's programmed to think 5.
You'll never beat the computer.
Exactly. My thing is, if you instill something in them to where they would want to make a pursuit to something that's not sitting down.
Okay, but what is that? So I'm going to push back on you now. Okay, a trade into what?
That's for that kid to decide. I would say a trade into HVAC. I would say a trade into what? Godly. Not slipping. You can find trades.
No, but what I'm saying is
those not that hard.
Trade is not hard. But do y'all know why the borders are the way they are? Do y'all know why? Do y'all know what the workforce is in America right now? The workforce in America is not predominantly American. Nobody really wants to work in America anymore. So what you're talking about sounds great, but look in the kitchens of the fast food.
Just because America ain't doing it, that's why your kids should just give up on it?
No, what I'm telling you is these kids, the way they look at life right now, They're not trying to hear that they finna go to get an HVAC trade or get a plumbing trade or get an electrician trade. They're not trying to do that.
But who
You
fault
in
that
the school?
is?
I don't know who fault it is.
No,
bro.
no, this the generation beforehand
Okay.
for why
No.
that's the case.
Whatever the case may be, you in these schools just like I am. When you start telling them to get a job as a trader or to go learn how to be a plumber, electrician, or whatever, they ain't trying to hear that. It sounds good what you're saying, but these young kids, bruh, when I'm in these schools, the last thing I have ever heard in the 10 years I've been in schools, I've very rarely heard any kid that says, I want to go to be a plumber, an electrician. They either say football player, entertainer, celebrity, doctor, or lawyer, or engineer. All these other things. But Joe, these kids are not saying that.
Listen to how we even describe the jobs. Because the way you even said it in the context, not how you feel about it. Because you already know. But even the premise on how we said these jobs, plumber and contractor and stuff like that, seems like or sounds like a level very much lower than the job everybody like a doctor or a football player or an engineer. It's talked about along these lines. It's even promoted along those lines as if this is just borderline just a normal job. When you actually get out there, you find out, no, it's not. Because you got your normal jobs, and then you got them jobs. And like you said, which is facts. Who do you mostly see out here working those not normal, but not super, super high jobs?
Latinos.
Hispanics out the wazoo. Yeah. You know why? Because they're not speaking to their kids. At least I'm assuming, because I can't speak for a Hispanic.
The Hispanics are bringing their kids to work as soon as they turn 19. Once they graduate,
they're instilling the
work ethic.
The work ethic.
Let's keep it real here on the Jo Lockett Show. The Hispanic community is the new black community. Where the black people were in the 70s and 80s when it came to the workforce.
I was going to say, they ain't us.
No, bro. In the 70s and 80s, when the white folks left a lot of these jobs, and then, we there was integration and all that other stuff, black folks were the motor of the big engine of America. Yeah. We were all working because our parents were the blue-collar workers. They were the janitors. They were the people behind the scenes moving the towels and working in those restaurants. And all. That was our parents, right?
Yeah.
Those parents put us in college. Right, so we did a little blue collar work, but we got blue collars and white collars out of that.
Yeah,
now that's us. But now because of AI, what we were taught, because we were trying to move our kids from probably blue collar to white collar, right? But what we was teaching our kids now, AI is hitting. So the things that we was trained that we know how to do, honestly, we don't have a lot of answers. A lot of parents don't have a lot of answers for what their kids need to do now. You can't say go to college. We got the money to send them to college, but you can't say go to college now. Because by the time they get out of school, everything they're doing from mathematics to writing to grammar to admin, you got computers that can do that. Done for the next 10 years. They don't need your kid. Operation with doctors and all that stuff, that's going to be done with computers and machines. That's coming. Self-driving trucks, that's coming. ChatGPT is here. These kids are using ChatGPT in school right now to write their papers and their thesis and books and all this other stuff. That's here. So
I had an AI. It was a software on my phone, and a lot of kids are using it, and it'll solve math problems for you.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. These kids are learning how to use these tools faster than their mom and daddy, right? So they can get answers just like this to anything they want, to almost everything they want. So again, I hear everybody, but what's the real conversation that we having with our kids? Because number one, they're not thinking, they're no longer writing, and they're not thinking. Now, what do your kid do in 2030? 5 years from now, what we see will be completely different, and the world is going to be different, and your kid is going to have kids, and how they're going to eat. So what are we telling our kids right now? How do we move forward from 2024 to 2030? Because I believe in the next 3 years, bruh, the way we consume a lot of stuff is going to change quickly. And when it happens, it's going to be like almost overnight. We as parents are going to be left behind because some of us got to catch up just not with technology. But the kids, they're going to be right there. They're going to be on the cutting edge of that. But what does the workforce look like for humans and our kids going forward.
I'm not of the mindset that other types of jobs are not going to be around or not going to be present. And I'm also the common mindset. Yeah, when this comes over, I'm sure a lot of jobs that you would normally think about will be out, but I'm pretty sure new ones will be back in. Like I'm not so much of the idea that everything is just going to be wiped off the slate and there's just
no. But there are certain jobs going to be wiped off the
working for us.
No. Everything is not going to be wiped off the slate, but a lot of jobs going to be wiped off the slate.
Okay, like the industrial movement was kind of similar to what we was going into,
but it was
us now.
No, that was a workforce, though, bro.
Okay, you don't think it's going to be something similar?
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm saying. What's the workforce? Because the kids coming out of high school today, bro. You in the schools, nephew. Let's just keep this conversation real on our show today.
Mm-hmm.
The kids coming out of these schools today, are they ready to go into the tech world?
Yes and no. For the ones that's not ready, it's clear. It's clear as day. You can't even really brace it because they don't seem equipped for anything. But the reason why I'm not slinging or throwing all of them out the wayside is because I know, but you know what I mean. Context. Yeah. But the reason why I'm still putting in some type of hope towards it, that they will be very, very, very good, is because when you see them in action with these things, they update it's almost as fast as the software that come out.
Yes.
They update. Oh, you don't know about, like, I felt like an old head and I'm not even old. They're like, oh, Mr. C, you don't know about this and this and that. And what about this one? And I was like, wait a minute. Huh? I was like, I was just in school just not too long ago now. Like,
but think about what we're saying though. The schools are teaching our kids math, English, and history and science, right? That's not gonna cut it anymore, bro. You don't need that. Let me say that again. Going forward, as far as where we're going, your kids should still learn that as a human. But in society, they don't need that.
I'm interested. Why you say in society they don't need it?
Because companies are going to go with what? When it comes to computing, they're going to use humans to do their accounting or machines.
That's counting.
Math, right? When it comes to solving problems, you got something out there now can think probably 1 million times faster than the average human. So if you put the equation into these AI things that they have out here now, that's going to spit it out. So
okay, software.
Okay, but what I'm saying, but the software is already here.
But hold on, and this is why I was like earlier. Let's not try to overthink it.
No, I'm not overthinking it, but I'm saying I'm looking at because Jay McClellan said robotics, engineering, gaming, and programming. Now, where I want to go with this is, I think more kids now need to look at the gaming industry because a lot of them are in that, but there's a lot of money to be made in different sectors of the gaming industry, which would get them interested into tech and to other things.
And this is where I go with that. And I'm glad you did pull that up, but this is where I would go with what you were saying.
Okay.
When you go into problem solving, like equations and stuff like that, you're right. There are systems in place to do that. But it's only systems in place to solve that problem, not to insert it. And what I mean by insert it, you pulled up the gaming thing. Or anything tech related in gaming or in music, you have to learn how to at least engineer a software right. Because the software, while it's there to do it, you have to actually put it in. Like it's codes that's involved with it.
Right now.
And if you can't digest the information that come with just pressing the button to cue it in, you're going to give it the wrong type of commands.
Right now.
Yeah. And how they do more other stuff with it, at least from what I'm seeing, because I'm a big gamer. From what I'm seeing, it's only making the process faster. It's not changing the engine. So it's pretty soon you're not going to be able to do the buttons. If you don't have the buttons, you're not going to be behind the wheel because you can't drive. You know what I mean? Or if you're doing it with engineering with music, it's softwares that will write your whole music script up all your lyrics.
Mhm.
But if you're not going to be able to have the pipes for it, even auto-tune can't save you.
But here's
If you don't have the ear to actually make stuff and you're just leaving it up to the computers, it's noticeable.
Okay, but here's the thing on there. If you're just talking about just say what you just said, music. People are going to consume what they want, and who can make music faster? You.
Some.
No,
I'm not going to say you're wrong, but
I'm saying, but when we're talking about the stuff that we're talking about, the way we consume it, we consume what we hear, right? We buy what we like immediately. Nobody's checking for authenticity, right? So if we got a banging beat and AI Jim made the banging beat, AI Jim becomes popular on social media. People start following AI Jim. You see what I'm saying?
Because I see what you're saying.
So,
but that's also back to the point that I was saying when you're talking to your kid as far as with the mindset. When it's time to actually get out here in the working world, a lot of these kids are unequipped because their mindset wasn't equipped.
Exactly. Now, that part I agree with it. That's why I said I think it's a deeper conversation that we got to start having at home with our kids. And parents, you got to start having a deeper conversation with yourself, because I believe our generation is the last generation that's going to benefit from what the world was set as. I don't think my kids, it's going to be either my generation, or our kids' generation, but it's not going to go 3 generations behind this. You know what I'm saying? So ours and our kids, but our kids are going to be going into this new world, right? That they're going to have to embrace, or what that's going on. And I truly believe that we got to be careful, because it's going to be the have and the have nots, because everybody's not going to be able to work anymore. And you're still going to have your blue collar workers. But my biggest question is for America, right? What is the blue collar work going to look like? Because that's the majority where most people make their living, right? So what does that look like for most of our kids that's going to be blue collar workers?
I think blue collar work, once it gets advanced, like advanced, blue collar work is going to seem more like a tech job. I think maybe blue collar work. I think how the base level tech jobs is now, how it seems very, very complicated.
Right.
They're going to simplify all that complication point into the point where you're just there to press the activation key, and that's going to be viewed as blue collar.
Lee, I don't think labor workers still going to be working for too much longer in the next 3 to 8 years, I would say.
Yeah, labor gonna look really, really
because
different.
With the way people are building robotics, and once people are able to kick robotics into the next level, humans are gonna have a problem. And let me just tell y'all this, okay? I'm not no conspiracy theorist. I am a realist, okay? I don't believe in all the conspiracy stuff. This is what I'm telling y'all. Y'all remember that in 1970, there was a phone on the wall with a cord, right? And we had a telephone book, and we had maps. Okay, y'all remember that? For the people who about around my age, right? You had one phone or 2 phones, right? And then there were telephone booths, right? That's where we were. You had 3 channels. That's where we were. When we got a game, it was Nintendo and ColecoVision.
I think y'all had Atari before Nintendo.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, Atari. It was Atari and ColecoVision. That's right, with Donkey Kong and Pac-Man. Okay, so now look where we are with human innovation 50 years later. Now we put in computers into what we have now already. So what I'm telling people going forward, right? This thing is going to take off with the speed of light over night and day, because once the costs come down on how to build robotics, right? And ChatGPT is already free and getting everybody information and downloading to the internet anyway. So once robotics comes in, that's the human labor, and the robotics can work. They will show up on time and do the job better than you consistently. So what do you think employers are going to start hiring? And once people start building robotics that can go work for these companies, right? Who do you think the company's going to hire? So what your kids are going to have to be able to do in that time is be able to work, like nephew said, in the tech field of repairing robotics, scrap parts, all that other stuff. It's going to change with the blue collar workers, because we're no longer going to be working in the workforce. I think we're going to be working on the robotics of the workforce that's working, repairing the parts, refurbishing the parts, right? You know what I'm saying? Making the robots better to do the jobs that we used to do.
But this is why I asked Joe, since we on this futuristic type of talking.
Okay.
Do you think we just got desensitized to what you think it's gonna look like when all of that is here, based off of like futuristic movies and books?
Yeah.
Because it might not be anywhere near it.
But it is, nephew, because if you think about it, overnight, right? Steve Jobs changed the way we live our lives. Bill Gates changed the way we live our lives. Jeff Bezos changed the way we shop. Okay? Those three guys alone changed the way we did. When they figured out the internet, they changed life forever, and it would never go back. It was faster, it was quicker, right? And a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people. But now you got other people that names we don't even know yet is going to be putting more people out of work. Here's the problem with that. It's just not software anymore.
But Joe, and this is why I have that type of mentality behind it.
Okay.
Because we only speak about who all lost them. We're not talking about all the jobs that were created from it.
No, but what I'm saying is, that's what I'm saying. So the blue collar workers that's going forward, what does that look like for our kids? That's why I say, when our kids graduate 18, 19 years old, what information are we giving them? Should they go to college? Because what some of these kids are in college for right now, by the time they graduate, that job won't be there.
Well, this actually happened in the last 10 years. And if your kid went to school for it, you know it better than not. But most of the degrees, I think about it, at least 10 of them mean absolutely nothing in the workforce right now.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And I actually had a student, and he was like, yo, I'm going to school. No, she said, I'm going to school so I get my business degree. And I asked her with a serious face, to do what with it?
Like I said,
to do what with it?
College right now for some kids and parents is just going to be bragging rights that my kid went to college.
And
I'm just sorry, but that's the truth.
And I'm sorry if the parent is watching and you don't agree. I'm sorry, but I didn't want to literally set her up in that type of way. I was like, Ladybug, you go to school for this business degree, which I love it. Great. You would be wasting 4 years paying a super big, and you going to business school to where? That matters too. Because some of these degrees, it only really matters to these high companies who you got it from. Yo, if you going to school for business, you're not going to school for business as no sports athlete. You just going for the strength. And if you going to Alabama with this business degree, guess what? They're only looking at that business degree because you played for Alabama.
You know, Jay McClinton said something very important. A lot of employers prefer actual work experience over
actual
degree.
Work experience, and I'm glad he said that.
They need you ready day one.
And that's what I was telling some of the other students, because they was like, yo, I don't know if I'll be able to really afford college. I was like, yo, if you go into, let's say you do just go for trade school and that's your college. You go into whatever your trade is, and sometimes there are similar jobs that can get you at entry level to teach you trade. You go to school while that trade is given to you, but you're doing the actual process. You're getting your trade and you got the work experience all at the same time.
If you guys just locking in right now, you're locked into the Tough Conversation show with the Jo Lockett Show and the one and only nephew. We're talking about right now, it's a tough conversation. What are we telling our kids when they graduate? How long should your kids be allowed to stay at home? How are our kids, your kids, going to be able to make money going forward? Minimum wage right now is $7.25 in Birmingham, Alabama. That does nothing if your kid gets out and get a minimum wage job. That don't pay for nothing. They can't even pay for a car note with that.
Period.
So when your kid leave your home and they're not going to college, what are we telling our kids to do? What are we helping our kids to do? Because I see the small answers are trade. Well, we got too many killings in Killingham right now because these folks ain't got no trade.
Hey, shout out to D. She said another real big one. Certification.
Yeah.
Yo, man, you get certified as a translator or BLS, something like that. Truly. They add to your freaking check different.
Yeah. But I think the reason why I want to open this up on a Tough Conversation too is on the Jo Lockett Show, because I want people to start to thinking differently And we got to have a different conversation with our kids, because y'all can't keep taunting the mantra, my kid is in college now. That's BS on a lot of levels for some of my kids, right? Yep. It sounds good. You can tell to your church friends and your sisters and, you know, your family, and my baby girl's in college at Alabama or Howard or wherever you want to say they went to college at, right? You know what I'm saying? But real talk, when they graduate with all that debt and they don't have a job, then what?
You just went to 4 years of a debt.
You see what I'm saying? You know, or the money that you gave them, would you be better off, you know, putting them in a, helping them get a house and letting them get a job that they can work at and actually get some work experience? And I'm with nephew. Soon as your kid is able to start work, the first thing you need to let your kids do at the age of 16 or 17, when you can start working in whatever state you're in, work ethic is one I think parents need to make sure their kids understand. Work ethic, consistency, making sure that your kid can get up every day and go to work and start make a paycheck and start to earn their own money. Because what they're going to do, go ahead, nephew.
Oh, no, I was finna piggyback on that because you're absolutely right. All the male role models and even female role models that were really, really close to me, they weren't late. They late was on time. My dad stayed hustling.
Yeah.
I don't care what it was. He made a big point. Even when I was a baby, he made it a big point. You don't work, you don't eat, and ain't nobody finna help you get nothing you don't work for.
Right.
He did that from the jump. My mama never. I hated it when I was little because I was like, yo, why we keep popping up when ain't nobody here? Never was late. No job she was on, she was ever late to. Right. She was always over early.
But nowadays, it's different.
It is, but
parents are late.
Morals.
That's what I'm saying. Parents are late. Parents don't work. Parents get out of work early. I'm telling you, man, in this workforce, I've seen cats get a job and work 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days and quit and don't have another job.
And that crap, sorry.
It's sorry, but that's a lot of what I see, especially, and I hate to say this, in my community, in our community, right? And poverty causes other issues when you don't have money. Now your back is against the wall. Now I'm in the frame of mind, I got to do what I got to do because I got to take care of my family, right? Because the money that you're making is coming too slow. The money that you're making, because why? The money that you're making is coming too slow, or the money you're making is not enough because you went into debt early. You got kids, you got bills, and now your skill set is not able to live up to your debt.
Yep.
And that's what we got to teach our kids, how to help them get a skill set that's going to move them through life. Whatever trade they're in, we got to start talking to our kids and guiding our kids and helping them find early on. Like D said, don't wait till 19 years old. You need to start having this conversation when they 10, 9, 11 years old. You got to start having that conversation then. I know y'all hate that and think a kid need to be a kid, but unfortunately, the way life is going, if you don't groom your kids for the future and you wait for them to graduate, it's nothing going to be out there for them. There's nothing out here in these streets for these kids right now. Think about it right now. In your neighborhood, when the last time you seen the kids outside playing football?
They definitely not.
Playing basketball, riding their bikes, playing jump rope, hopscotch, tic-tac-toe in the streets. You don't see that anymore. These kids don't know what it means to, number one, play. Then they don't know what it means to clean up the house. They don't know what it means to actually get up and be disciplined at home and make sure that the dishes are washed, the bathrooms are clean before they turn on their TV. See, when I was growing up, I'm just being real, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all share the video, they hit the like button. These kids they don't have it at home. You can't expect them at 19 when they go into the world that they're going to be successful. Most kids are not. Few will. That's the honest God truth. Our kids are not ready. Over in foreign countries, they're preparing their kids for this. They know what the detect people are going to be. They know where the doctor's going to, because they're making sure that their kids, this country is going to survive, because this is what they're teaching in schools. This is what they're teaching at home. In America, it's free will. It's your choice, which I love. But free choice can also get your ass broke. If we as parents don't become more in our kids' life, and I think we have to, more parents, we got to dictate for our kids a better future. And we can't give them the old dinosaur method that we thought that we had. That routine, that speech is dead. Yeah. That speech don't work anymore. get a good job, get an education. That itch don't work anymore. I'm sorry, but it's not there.
You're right. It's outdated to think you just let a kid be a kid and nowadays too.
You can't.
Because
you can't.
It's too honestly, it's too much growing them up faster.
Yeah.
And not against TikTok, because shout out to TikTok. Yeah. But let's say with a few TikTok videos, your kid is doing a TikTok dance.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the dance that they doing it to 9 times out of 10, even the AI is not going to be able to cipher out all the cuss words.
Right.
So now, 6-year-old, 7-year-old is singing the TikTok dance, but it comes with cuss words, but they don't know what they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So do you get immediately mad at them for saying something they don't know, or do you equip them so they know not to say it? It's how you bring these kids, because the world not finna wait on your kid to be an adult, and they're not gonna allow them to really be a kid. So it's how you manage it. Like my mom, for a certain level of stuff, it was you got to hit a certain type of age. We ain't finna do R-rated movies. The most you're gonna do is PG-13, and that's when I'm in the room.
Right.
But she had a different level of wherewithal even when she was doing that.
Mm-hmm.
When I did watch the R-rated movie, it was something like a Roots.
Yeah.
It was something more educational.
Yeah.
And then once I hit to my teenage years, she was like, all right, cool. I trust my work from here to know that you know what's to not do.
Man, listen, I could not listen to words with curse words in front of my parents. Still to this day, if I was talking to my parents, I couldn't.
Word?
No. Bruh, there was no way if my dad got in my car that I was playing any rap music in front of my daddy.
What? I mean, I'll be my dad would be like, chill out. I want to hear it all.
But bruh, but that's respect that was earned through my parents, because what I do in my private time, even as a grown man, is cool. But I'm not going to put that on and me and my mom and dad sitting up in the car and we bumping Young Thug. That's not happening.
I cannot vision you playing Young Thug.
I can't envision me playing either. But what I'm saying is, back in the day would have been, NWA, Snoop Dogg, Too Short. You know what I'm saying? When my parents got in my car, bro, or when I was in the car with them, I turned on the radio to the music they listened to. And in Birmingham was WENN and stuff like that, right? And they wasn't cursing on the radio.
Did they listen to WAGG?
My mom did, yeah.
Yeah.
But again, but where we are today in society, your kids is your best friend, right? You're able to do a lot of stuff with your kids. And I'm not knocking it, but I'm knocking it because I understand I want to be cool with my kids, but they have to understand that my coolness there is a limit and the rope is very short, because at the end of the day, I got to be your parent. You know what I'm saying? I can't go to the club and party with my kids. I can't sit there and do all this. This disturbs me when I see parents and their kids are doing little skits on social media, and it has cuss words in it, right? But it gets a lot of views. That's just me, the old-fashioned me. I cringe when I say that, because if you're getting a bunch of views with your kid that's 8, 9, 10 years old and they're cursing, that same kid is cursing out me in school because it was okay for mama and dad to do it, and we making money off of it. So I can say it to people on the outside world.
True. He's probably saying even something worse. Why you mad at me for saying this? This ain't no bad word. Everybody use it.
That's what I'm saying. So we haven't, as parents, I think we're doing a poor job of differentiating, what a kid should be allowed to do at their age. I think things should still be age appropriate for kids. And I'm just being real. I think there's certain things that, you can find it on the internet. Yeah, you can do this. We had access to everything that these kids had access to. It just wasn't as accessible. Let me say that again. We had access to everything these kids had access to. It just wasn't as accessible. But we was able to get it. But we knew, because the way we was brought up, even if we got our hands on it, we wasn't doing it in front of our parents. We wasn't doing it at school. We wasn't doing it to get caught. These days, these kids have this stuff on their phone, on their screensavers, right? In their text messages, laying around in their rooms. Parents see it and say, oh, well. Parents don't check book bags anymore. Parents don't go out and check their kid's car. Parents don't go in their kid's car to see what if it's been smelling like weed. They don't do a lot of parents don't do that stuff.
Well, some parents don't consider weed to be that bad.
But that's what I'm saying. Again, you talking about your kid in high school. I don't give a damn about what your morals are. Alcohol and weed for your kid in high school is wrong unless it's medical. Because a kid needs to be a kid. These parents thinking that it's okay. You raise your kid how you want to. But that kid is the same kid that's going to go out into the world and say if mom and dad said it's okay, who is going to be able to manage them out in the world when they're still a kid? What is authority? How do they respect authority?
Well, this is what I would say. Because I was reading a few comments.
Go ahead.
Eric Bunker, my kids are all grown. I'm no longer an authority figure. I'm a consultant and a friend. And then I think she went on to say, to a degree, the world has changed. You can't have them sheltered. And then MD said parents are too busy trying to be friends with their kids instead of being parents.
Okay, so let me hop on this shelter thing. Okay. Be a parent first. Okay. Shelter to me sounds like I want to be the cool parent. Me as a grown man.
That's what shelter sounds like to you?
For me. Because shelter my kid is me trying to protect them from something, right? But or let them get the experience, right? Because this is the way the world is. I knew that the iron was hot, and I knew I was gonna get burnt by it. When we're looking at these kids and they're doing it in the real world anyway, right? I got a huge problem with kids doing adult stuff in front of adults, or we know that they're doing it and we're allowing them to do it. I got a problem with it. You raise your kids how you want to. But dealing with kids every single day, I told y'all 2 weeks ago, kids are growing up too fast and don't know the meaning behind a lot of the stuff they're saying and doing and the consequences behind it. And when it hit them, the first thing they go say, Mama, Daddy, I'm sorry, or I didn't mean to. And sometimes that I didn't mean to, or I'm sorry, lands their ass in jail, or you paying out a whole lot of money because they didn't hurt somebody, or they didn't mess around. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna say the other word.
Yeah.
Come on now.
But this is why I say, Joe. Because your generation, or at least I think it's either your generation or the one before.
Mm-hmm.
And it ain't all of y'all, but y'all used to get this off to enough to where a lot of y'all would say this was true.
What's that?
If y'all parent or y'all caught one of y'all kids smoking, you would make them smoke the whole pack.
Yes, sir.
I think a lot of folks live a little bit to that degree, but you doing that as punishment might be instilling something down the line to where they're going to be worse off.
Possibility
for some folks to view it like that.
Yeah.
And when you're saying shelter in the degree of, you know what I mean, being the cool parent because, I'm making sure they don't do this, or my kid ain't finna get into that, or that's your kid problem because mine's don't, yada, yada, yada. I get the angle, but then again, the premise is still, if you're sheltered from anything, that's still going to encourage them to want to try it even more because they never did it before. And when they're out on loan, you can't judge how they're going to do it alone.
Okay, so let's
a
talk
lot of
about
these
that.
folks would be like, I'm managing this habit.
No, you're not.
Hold on, let me land. Because I get where you're coming from. But a lot of folks would say, I'm managing it to where when they're by themselves, they're not going to be like the folks I saw that never did it before and they all strung out, or they all hold out, or they all yada, yada, yada.
Okay. And I'm going to say this is where good parenting come in, where you have to be very creative. To each his own how you parent your kids.
Yeah.
So
you do what you want to do.
But I'm saying for what I see, right? A kid need consequences and repercussions to understand that certain things can happen and certain things can't happen. We spared the rod and we have spoiled the child, right? That's just my honest opinion. I think we spared the rod too much because talking and punishing kids and taking things away without putting that belt on their behind to make them understand. And I'm not saying beat them every time. I'm not saying whoop them every time. but there need to be an equal balance to make your kids understand young that there are consequences and repercussions when you do things wrong or when you don't listen to authority. That's all I'm saying. Because if you start with them young, right? Just like if if your kid continues to do something and you pop them on the legs when they're young, they're not going to do that no more. They're going to think twice.
Okay.
These kids today, by the time you try to do something, because you haven't done it, now you got a fight on your hands.
So you think even if they was to do it and it's manageable, they wouldn't know how to conduct themselves in authority?
What do you mean?
Well, because you said they don't need to be doing that because of something with authority. I think I lost it there.
Do what?
They need to be able to respect authority, right? When you made the angle.
Everybody know their kids. Let me say this.
Okay.
Everyone knows their kids and how they need to raise their kids in their household.
Yeah.
Some kids can go through life and never have to be yelled at and, spanked or whatever. But what I'm saying is,
luckies.
But this is what they would say when I was growing up. At some point, a young man and a young woman start to smell themselves, right?
Okay.
And you got to put them in their place and let them know that no, not here.
And
however you discipline your child.
Well, hold on. As far as that, so I ain't losing it.
Mm-hmm.
You think that's when they grown or when they're a teenager?
No, I think you do that when they're babies. You start this out when they are small, so they understand consequences and repercussions. And like I said, I'm not talking about whippings. I'm just talking about being very stern. And if you need to, pop your kid on their legs, pop their little hand, say stop, right?
But we okay. I got that point with the earlier years. Because I don't want the earlier years to get mixed in with the laters.
Okay, but here's the thing. The earlier years, if it's done, right?
They're still going to want to do that.
No. I disagree.
Why
Earlier
do
years,
you think that?
Because as I got older, I was cautious in what I was doing. I wasn't reckless. When I became,
did you just say that?
Yes, bruh. When I grew up, there were things that if my parents didn't have consequences and repercussions, and I knew there were, I would have did a hell of a lot more without thinking about it. But I knew as I got older, the people that I hung around, there were certain things I just was not going to do because I knew I had to deal with mom and daddy.
But Joe, this is why that still ring is BS for me.
Okay.
Because while the fact that you probably would have did way worse,
had
the tutelage not been there, it still didn't stop you from being on that side. It still didn't stop you from actually doing the acts. From how you're saying it, it's gonna stop them from doing the acts.
That's what I said. That's not what I said.
But that's what most folks. That's what most folks they hear you say.
No, they don't. You put words in my mouth.
I am.
You put words in my mouth. I didn't say that.
Because I'm telling you how they interpreting that.
No, that's how you interpret it.
I'm not the only one that interpret that. Like
no,
that. I know I'm not.
Any adult that's listening to what I said, they understood what I said.
Joe, I get the point of, in the earlier years, make sure you have some type of structure to where they know there's a cause and effect for everything and they need to be accountable for it.
Right.
I got that point. But towards the later years, for most folks, why they say they're not going to shelter their kids, it's because they don't want the shelter aspect later down the years. Your premise, if you're saying you need to do that earlier so they don't go into it, is a little null and void for me. Because I'm like, they're still going to try to do it, even if you did give them that type of discipline. Even if that was installed early, if they're interested or curious in anything, that kid's going to do it with you not around, period. And a lot of these parents would be like, instead of me waiting on the off chance that they do it while I don't know about it, and they get in the way worse outcome really fast, because we know how a steep hill that is. Mm-hmm. If it's not managed, I think a lot of these parents is like, yo, bro, if I got this kid and I can see it on the horizon, I'm going to introduce this to them in a way where it's a lot more in control, where I can then go through the process of teaching them what this is.
And I'm still
saying, these don't have to be vices; they can be habits or hobbies.
Okay, so to your premise, right? For the people who in the back didn't understand what I said, okay? So you said they out there. Let me say this: that same kid that do it under you is going to do it in a controlled environment. And when they get outside with the kids that do it more, guess what they're going to do? They're going to do it more.
But you don't think somebody that's already been introduced to something?
No.
Tending to go to the extra. in.
But what I'm saying here is, if you have a kid and you know your kid, once you allow them to do whatever you allow them to do, along the way, you make them understand there are consequences and repercussions. So when they get older and you allow them to do a little bit more, they're going to know what they need to do. Now, once they, as a kid, going to go out there and get burnt, every kid will go out there and get burnt. But there are some things, bro, if you raising your kids correctly, right, and they're following your lead from childhood to 13 to 16 years old, you're not going to step in the big hole because you understand what that means. If you never told your kid these things, when they step in the big hole, they're going to be gullible to every doggone thing that's out there. Yes, when kids try to and touch the stove, if you told them it's going to burn them, of course they're going to touch it because they want to see how long it's for, how long it's going to burn, how long it's going to take to burn them.
Yeah.
Okay. So every kid would do that. What I'm saying to parents now today is the stuff that we're allowing our kids to get away with, the discipline, the consistency in that makes our kids think that there are not a lot of hard repercussions to everything. But when that jail door slams on your kid for 20 years, you're not getting out.
But Joe,
there's no appeal.
Joe.
If you go out there and you pull that trigger on somebody and you wind up, putting somebody away forever, you're not getting out of jail.
Joe, everybody that drink or smoke is not going to be
I'm not
killer
saying I'm not
or a thief.
Okay, but
hold up, but this is how we're mapping this stuff out.
No, that's what you're saying.
Now, this is how I'm mapping this stuff out. Because every kid that does that type of recreational thing, Joe, you drink. I'm not thinking you a killer on the street.
I'm 53 years old.
Joe, I know folks that smoke. I know they're not going out to steal. But
if you get caught, right now in Birmingham, Alabama,
when was the first time you drunk?
Hold on. When the first time I got drunk, when I was 16 years old, when I was in the band. 16 years old.
16 years old.
I was with the band members.
So other folks would probably say, "Oh, your mom and dad didn't have no type of control over you. He finna go out and do something crazy."
That's not what I said.
Because he a 16-year-old.
That's not what I said. See, you're taking way out of context because I got
that's the context.
No, that's not, because I said when a kid does something at 16, you didn't ask me what I did and how I got drunk.
Did it matter?
Yeah.
You got drunk.
Yes, it mattered.
That's when you got drunk.
No, because when a kid don't have what I had, I got drunk at school on the school bus, knowing that when I got home and finished playing, the football game was over, and I got home off that school bus, I better be sober. I planned all that out because there were consequences and repercussions.
Joe,
if my mom and
that's
dad
even
knew
worse.
What are you talking about?
That's even worse.
How is that worse, bro?
Joe, because you already had the tutelage, the stuff that you were talking about.
Because I understood consequences and repercussions.
Exactly. But did that stop you from getting drunk?
I never said
did that stop you from getting drunk?
I never said it would stop. I still say kids are going to do what they do. But again, they understand you're not going to go out there and be reckless in what you're doing because your parents have instilled in you what you better not do. And if you do this, this is going to be the consequence behind it. Every kid is going to go out there and do something stupid. A kid's going to go have an accident. They're going to go get drunk. They're going to go get high. But a lot of these kids right now don't care if you catch them or don't care if you know what they're doing.
And that goes past them in the habit. That goes past them doing the action. That's a mentality thing. And if you're not instilling in mentality in these kids, regardless on if they never smoked or drink, they can come off with that same type of mentality. Okay. Regardless on if they ever did anything like that, they can come off with, you can't tell me nothing and I'm going to do what I want to do.
Okay, bro.
That's how it's going to be.
No, it's not, bro. Because I lived the generation.
That don't mean nothing. That same mindset is in every generation.
You keep saying that it means nothing. I have friends that parents allowed them to get away with everything with what you're saying, or they sit there and they drink with their kids and watch their kids drink. I'm going to sit here and tell you this is no lie. Anybody on this feed, go and let me know when you grew up in the 80s.
But what are they mentality, Joe?
Hold on. Those kids, hold on. But those kids, what you're talking about, that we grew up with, the parents allowed them to do what they do. Ask these folks on social media where those kids are right now. Most of them are no longer here, in jail, cracked out, or alcoholic.
Joe, I got a friend of mine that didn't do any of that. And I know for a fact he didn't. And he went to jail for killing somebody.
Again,
that's a mentality thing.
Bro,
and if you don't,
where does the mentality come from?
Hold up.
Where does the mentality
come from? How you raising up this kid? But
thank you.
But Joe,
that's my only point.
Even folks that don't have, even folks that have the raising part down, are still
You
going to
still
go
gonna
out
have
of their
a mis-
way to
you
do the
still-
same thing that can get you
But-
caught up in any
Nephew,
other case.
I'm not denying what you're saying. It's going to happen. But what I'm saying is parents have a responsibility to their kids to do their part. Yes, you can raise your kid up in the best circumstance and they go out there and do something stupid. Yes, I never said that's not going to happen. I said it's better chances of when you raise your kid and do what parents need to do for their kids and make sure a kid's in a kid's place, that when they do it, they understand that there are circumstances and repercussions behind what they do. And sometimes you have to allow your kids to suffer through those things to teach them life lessons. Because when you walk your ass out the door in your house and you becoming a 19-year-old kid, you're going to face life. And they don't care about what the society or what you're doing or what your age. And right now, Danny Carr, the district attorney here in Birmingham, Alabama, told us 2 weeks ago, if your kid get caught with an ounce, whatever it is, a weed right now,
Yeah, they go to jail.
automatic 10 years. Automatic 10 years. You're going straight to jail. No questions asked about it. Get caught with a gun. Automatic 10 years. So you're going to sit here and tell me that you're going to let a child go out and experience weed that in Birmingham, Alabama, if they get caught with that same weed you let them experience with, that little bit, his ass is going to jail. Stop it, bro.
Joe.
For 10 years.
Joe. It still ring BS to me in this aspect, because if it's in a controlled setting, no, I'm not letting them go out to do anything. If it's in a controlled setting, not a controlled setting means the parent.
Bruh, okay, so let me ask you
A
this.
controlled setting means
let me ask you
they're
this.
with me.
Okay, what I just told you, right? What I just told you, you still gonna allow your child to smoke weed in a controlled setting when I just told you that in Birmingham, Alabama, real
If
time,
they get caught outside with it,
10 years.
Joe,
why would
that's
you even-
different from in your house.
Bro, why would you
That
allow
is
it?
different from in your
Why
house.
would you tell your child even that's a possibility? No, you don't need to be smoking no weed, period.
And Joe, let's say I do all of that. Let's say I go with that bogus standpoint. And
Bogus?
yes, because if they still go to drink or smoke, or
Bruh.
go to get the weed, they'll
Bruh,
still
really?
get the 10 years.
Really, bro?
They'll still
Okay.
get the 10 years.
Okay, bro. You raise your child like that. I won't waste my
Joe, that's not nothing against nobody if they do that. If they choosing the controlled aspect, it's going to only be when they're around.
Okay, bro. Bro,
That's the point of the parenting, to show them through this.
I'm not gonna argue that point because I'm not gonna teach my kid to do something illegal.
Then don't. You don't
Yeah, but I'm
got
saying,
to.
because-
But that ain't illegal in
That's
everywhere.
illegal.
That's not illegal everywhere. No, it's not.
In Birmingham, Alabama,
In
where we
Birmingham.
live.
But
This is where we
if you're at home, you're
This
not
is-
breaking the law.
Bro,
If you're at home, you're not breaking the law.
if your ass walk off that damn step in your front of your house,
Out the damn step,
Yes,
Joe, not in the
it's illegal.
damn house.
so you're illegal. What you're doing and teaching your kid is illegal,
Oh my God. No, it's not if you in your damn house.
bro.
If you're outside, yes,
if the
by all
police- if
means.
the police-
no,
if the police-
no, you're finna
Okay,
twist
hold
this
on.
shit.
No.
If you
No.
outside, by all means, you are going to jail.
Okay.
But if you're in your fucking house, then yes, you will not go to jail.
If the-
That's
so
you
let me ask you
preaching
a
the
question.
habits.
Let me ask you a
That's you
question.
getting in and
let me ask you.
installing
Let me ask you a damn question. If the police walk in your house, if the police will call to your house because some people smell marijuana, let me ask you this question because you said it's not against the law, and they walk into your house and your kid got that 10 ounces on him, he's not going to jail. I can call Danny Carr and tell you different. I can call Danny Carr right now and tell you different. Because I promise you, your ass is going to jail. It's illegal. If you got weed on you in your house, in your car, in public, it's illegal. And you're saying that because the police is not there, it's okay to teach my kid that. Let them experience it. In Alabama, parents go ahead and do that. Your ass going to jail if you get caught, if your neighbors call. If one of your friends walk out that house and they smell like weed, and they still say, where, and he get in trouble or get stopped when they leave your house because everybody was smoking. And they said, where was they doing that? And the police come to your house. Your ass going to jail and the kid's ass going to jail.
I'm not out of pretense, but I'm not finna act like I know the law on that.
I'm telling you, you're going to jail.
I don't believe it. I'll check for myself.
Check. You're going
I'll
to
check
jail.
for myself, but
Check.
I don't know that for a fact. So I can't argue that point.
Okay.
I want to make sure for myself, regardless.
Go ahead, bro. Tomorrow, let's have the same conversation. Check it out.
Bet. I do that.
Check it out, bro. I'm telling you right now. All I'm saying is, I respect your premise, right? But I hate to do this. But you're 25. Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm 53.
Oh my God.
And when I say what I'm saying, I'm talking from a little bit more experience than you are. You speaking from the freedom of what you do, but your parents put you in the mentality that you understood consequences, repercussions. When you did things, your parents grew up in the era that mine that I was in. So the things that you know now, bro, and the way they raised you, you knew what not to do and what to do and the consequences and repercussions behind it. You can't say you didn't because I know your parents. Right? So you knew, right? And there were certain things when you went out there, nephew, you just wasn't going to do because you knew dad was going to bust your ass. You knew mama was going to bust your ass or grandma was going to bust your ass. So you knew that because the way you was raised. That's the only thing I'm saying. Did you go try it? Yes, but you didn't want to get back home. You wasn't going to be misogynistic. No, all I'm saying is when a parent is a parent, you teach your kid consequences and repercussions, and you hope when they walk outside your door that they're going to do what you asked them to do, or they're not going to get as in much trouble as they could have if they did not know. But most kids, if they've been raised right like you were, you're not going to want to do anything to disappoint your mom and daddy. You're not. And you didn't, for the most part.
Nah, I didn't.
Because
But
you knew.
I also seen other
Because
other
why?
kids.
But
Hold up. Coming in an environment for if you was to take it for face value, I would be more likely to do what they're doing.
Okay.
That's just face value.
Okay, I'm taking for face value.
Kids, because I was the separated household, daddy with somebody else with other kids, and I'm just with my mama.
Right.
Oh, yeah. If I'm taking the premise, because he is over here, that kid, he got a 2-parent household. They in church. They are in the suburbs. Okay. They ain't gotta go to the hood. Never did. Yet, two completely different mindsets.
Okay.
But he was the sheltered type. He was the my dad is this. My mom is this. I'm in the suburbs. I'm not, you know what I mean? What you got to deal with the hood and other stuff like the gang bang, the actual sex and drugs, getting approached in these ways, having to walk through that, walk back. Oh, I'm gonna smoke a drink. Oh, I'm a party. Matter of fact, I'm gonna go and smash and I'm gonna have 2-3 babies.
But think about what you just said though, bro. You're talking about a kid that didn't have the parents that were parenting him through those moments.
Joe,
it ain't about where you live in a 2-parent household.
Parenting, but that's
the
exactly
parenting,
what you said.
The parenting, they didn't do
making.
what, but the parenting that you're talking about, they didn't do what I'm talking about.
No, I didn't live in a house.
No, but I'm saying that young man that you're talking about, a lot of us were raised with those kids. Their parents gave them everything, and they still didn't understand consequences and repercussions. Those parents were there to get their kids out when they did stuff. Those parents too busy making money. Again, consequences and repercussions. It don't matter if you came from a 2-parent household or 1-parent household, or you came from the hood, or you came from the suburbs, or you came from a mansion. A good parent, which your parents are, a good parent like which my parents are, you're going to discipline your kid and teach them consequences and repercussions. Is my only point here.
And I'm not arguing that point. If it sounds like I'm arguing that point, no.
It's okay.
I was just arguing the premise of you can give all of that and they still go down this pipe by choice.
Yes.
Knowing consequences, but still choosing against it.
Bro, there are kids who came from the best households. If you look at celebrities, rich, and still wind up broke or in jail or to hurt somebody. So yes, that happens. But in society, as parents, I still say, and I'm going to stick to this, as parents, these kids are kids. They need to live a life as a kid as long as possible. And we need to be as parents as long as we're able to them to guide them in the right direction. Because nobody has your child's best interest at heart more than their mom and their dad.
True.
Period. And if you're allowing your kids to pressure you to do things that's against what you truly believe in or what you think because you want your kids to be popular or to know some things, that's your parenting style. But I think that's a big mistake if how you know your child. The way he or she acts when they've been pressured with certain things, certain kids are not ready for to experience, even in a controlled environment, adult things. They're not. Because why? They're kids. So for all the cool parents out there, you know your kid. And I hope you know your kid. But don't be a cool parent just to be a cool parent. Be a cool parent. Be a parent first. Your kids will get over being angry with you about what you didn't let them do, or what party you didn't let them go to, or what alcohol you didn't let them drink. They got plenty. They got the rest of their life to do that. You got 16 to 18 years to capture their attention and teach them everything you know from your 40 years or 50 years of experience. You got about 16, 17 years to teach your child that. Don't waste it, is my point. Because once they leave your house, the people that's going to be teaching them stuff don't give a damn about them the way you do. And it's our job as parents to make sure that because, to do what we need to go do. As Erica said, once your kids become grown, you're just a counselor.
I think we have Miss Kesha in.
Keisha there?
Hey, Miss, I keep calling her Kesha. Keisha. Miss, I'm sorry, she gonna get on me soon.
How long she been there?
I have no idea.
Oh Lord, she gonna kick your ass. Bring Keisha here, bro.
Hey, Miss Keisha.
Hey.
How long you been here? I did. Hey, say what?
I don't think I've been there 2 minutes. You're good. I haven't been.
Oh, okay.
I put it on the big screen there. Give her the big screen to people. Yeah. So I'm going. She missed the heated part where me and you were.
She did. She just came in and look. I was like, all right, I don't want to show her that. I'm sounding
I heard
all right, guys. You guys like this?
Debate about parents and children and all that stuff. I know I'm coming in on the end.
She did come in on that.
Yeah, me and nephew, we were having a heated debate here about parents being parents and teaching their kids consequences and repercussions, instead of allowing them to do certain things in front of them in a controlled environment. Him and I vehemently disagree on the parenting styles.
Whew. That's probably old school versus new school then, huh? Because I'm totally that old school nephew.
Yeah, I expect it.
So we're not gonna get back into it.
No worries.
It'll get into a shouting match. So
no worries.
All right, guys, we're locked in. If you like to the favorite eating right, we got the one and only my co-host on the Keisha and Jo Show, which we'll be doing live tomorrow from the Filter Coffee Parlor, downtown Birmingham. Welcome to the show, Keisha.
Hey y'all, hey. Glad to be.
If you guys want to see it, you guys can go to Facebook and YouTube, and the show is being streamed live right there. So, Keisha, are you excited about our show for tomorrow?
Always.
Listen. What are we actually talking about tomorrow on the show?
We are actually talking about how to open the door as it relates to relationships. And you touched on this subject when we were there, and I'm typing because I'm actually trying to show this to my audience, y'all. So I'm actually
and as loud as I don't know what.
Yeah, I thought that was.
Say that one more time. I missed that.
We can hear you typing.
You can hear me typing. That's hilarious. Sorry about that, guys. Hey, I'm trying to share. Y'all know I'm a social media person. And listen, I multitask. So that may annoy some viewers of mine, but while I'm listening to you, my brain is thinking I need to share this. I need to type this. I need to make sure you have this information. So I multitask. But yeah, tomorrow, we were talking with our debut show last Wednesday, and the issue came up of how to open the door. Jo, you mentioned that. Ladies, how do you open the door for a guy to approach you? And I've done my research. I've been watching videos, just been popping up. And because we're going to go back to our purpose, Jo. And the purpose of this show is to help people. Sorry, y'all, I see my hair sticking out and it's annoying me. But the purpose of the show is for us to help our folks connect. Now, with our show, we recognize that we are dealing with a genre of the 50 and fabulous. No knock to you, nephew, and any of those who are in your age group or a little younger. But we're having people who are 25 and 55 say, we don't know how to connect. The guys aren't talking to us. The women aren't saying anything. And I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be kind of tough on the ladies about some things that we do wrong as it relates to connecting to guys and giving them the go ahead to think that we are interested. Sometimes we are squarely as women 100% in error in how we are behaving and how we are responding. And
Well,
we
tomorrow,
do.
you guys make sure you go ahead, kiss, sis.
Oh, no. I was just saying. And so we're going to talk about it. And also we're going to let people give us feedback too on how they want to, how they think that they should open the door or what they're looking for men to do. You know, men, what do you want to see as far as a woman? How do you know it's okay to approach her? And that's all we're saying when we're saying open the door, approaching one another. You know, what would she do to show you it's okay for her to be approached? And ladies, what do you think, or what are you doing to show the guy that it's okay to approach you? So opening up the conversation.
Well, tomorrow on the Keisha and Joe show, live on Facebook and YouTube, you guys make sure you lock it into either Keisha's page or my page. We'll be going live from the Filter Coffee Parlor Shop downtown on the south side, right? International Pancake House. We will be there live doing the show. Open the door. Is your door open or is it closed? Or do your ass even have a door?
I thought you were asking me to just save me right then, so I'm not answering that. I'm gonna let y'all.
No. This is for tomorrow on the Keisha and Joe show. So you guys make sure you stay locked in for that, and make sure you got that. Go ahead and follow Keisha's Keisa.
Keisa, not Kesha.
It's Keisa. Keisa.
Let me make it easier for you all. I tell everyone it's like Lisa with a K. And you know, I went back recently and I looked at my social media channels and I was like, you're all over the place. You've got Keisa here, you whatever. I just kind of went back to my name of Keisa Sharp, and that's what people need to be able to follow me, because to say follow me on this name here, this name there, that's kind of ridiculous. So yeah, it's Keisa, but an easy way to remember it is like Lisa with a K.
With a K.
All right, so you guys make sure you go out there and you follow her. You guys are already following me. So come in on the pages because it's going to be a wild show tomorrow. And, you know, I am super excited. This will be our second episode of the podcast. Part two. And our first episode went off so well. So thank you so much for that. Everybody that chimed in. So around 10 o'clock tomorrow, if you guys got time, and we will be on time tomorrow. Yeah. We're going to be there early. So we're going to be on time tomorrow. We're going to work out the technical difficulties, hopefully. Early on, so we can actually start at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Because last week I think we started like 10:18, but we had a lot of stuff we had to change around, huh? Yeah. So we had a lot of stuff that we had to work on, but we're gonna work our behinds off to try to make sure that at the end of the day that we got everything working correctly. Keisa, while you're here, let me ask you this question, because you know we got a few more minutes left in the show.
Sure.
All right. Let me ask you this question. As a woman, right?
Yeah.
And when you're going, what do you think the world is going, right, in the next 5 to 10 years? Because you and I both are in the schools in the same program together. And this is what we're talking about early on in the show. Do you think college is necessary for the generation of kids that is coming up? And if they don't go to college, what advice parents should be giving their kids to be able to be productive and leave their home and start their own lives?
Oh, I think that's a great question. I think that is highly tailored to the individual child. I think that some kids will thrive in a college environment. College for me was very challenging. I'll be honest with you. And I'll be very transparent, because you're coming from high school where you're sheltered, you're comfortable, you're going into a new environment and away from home by yourself with people you may or may not know, and you're told to thrive and go to class, and you know you're having to manage schedules and manage self-discipline. The first 2 years, I received several, maybe not several, that may be an exaggeration, but I received a couple of failing grades. I did not do well initially. So much so, I was on the 5-year program. And while I was there at the University of Alabama, they instituted the forgiveness program. So the forgiveness program came along and allowed me to drop my 3 lowest grades, me and the other students who were there. Thank God, because I changed my major 5 times. So you can see on the screen, 5 times. So now for me, it worked because I was a pretty good performing educational student. But I look at one of my siblings. He did not go to college, and he eventually completed his degree, but he didn't go to the traditional 4-year college. Is making more money than. So do I think that college is the end all? When you have 8-year-olds who are on YouTube and they're making $20 million already, they're worth $20 million from their videos. When you've got people who are 25 and they understand how to trade stocks and they understand cryptocurrency, it would be blasphemous for me to say everyone needs to go to college. That would be, and that would mean everyone would need to be the same. Everyone would need to fit. Not everyone is college material. It took me 5 years to get out of there, and it was tough. I finally, at that 3rd year, I finally hit on the major that I was supposed to be in. But would it have taken me going to a 5-year, a traditional 4-year school to do that? I don't know. So that's a long answer to say absolutely not every child should be directed to go to college. Not absolutely not. We are not in usual times. Come on, Joe, think about it. You know, you've got people out here who are making videos dancing and are cashing in, $100,000, $200,000 a year. They're just making videos doing what they do. So to answer your question, heck no. That's how.
So what what are parents telling their kids now, at the age of 18 when they graduate? And how long should you allow your kids to live in your house now? Because, if they're not going to college, what is out there for them because of what AI is, how AI is going to be changing the world in the next 3 to 10 years, right? What are we telling our kids to do and how they're going to make money?
Well, first of all, if you're just, I'll answer that 2 ways. First of all, if you're just starting that conversation about what you're going to do at age 18, you're already behind the 8 ball. Because as a parent, if I've got the opportunity to have my child in that house with me and I'm watching my child, I should have an inclination already. I should have an inclination. And Joe, I'm Bible. What? Stop it.
She's using big words on our show, nephew. She's smart on our show. She used the big ass word inclination.
She would feel like this.
Inclination. That's why she's sharp. Go ahead.
I've been told when I get angry, Joe, I've been told my cuss words is to use big words, to use like this.
Exactly. That makes us feel all dumb.
I had to put my glasses.
I had to go look at the inclination when she was talking about it. But go ahead.
I am an English minor, so I have a love. I was about to say an affinity, but I have an affinity for words. So
big word again. I thought affinity meant just for life, for forever. But she used it in a whole different context. See, there we go.
I got my glasses on. I just got shut up. People with glasses.
Let her land. Let her go ahead and do a dissertation there. Go ahead.
Oh no.
Wait a minute. I don't hear that for you. Dissertation.
I just looked it up.
Okay, see, look, now he's throwing out the big words. Okay, Joe. Okay.
Hey, I just looked it up because I wanted to sound smart.
Listen.
I ain't gonna let her outdo me on my show.
Okay, right. Joe, listen.
Yeah.
What I always say, if the big look, it is what it is. If the big words had gotten me $1 million by now, then what? Okay, I wouldn't be working as hard as I am today. So the big words, but so what? There are people out here doing crazy stuff don't know, don't have half the education, but I'm making so much more money. Because why? They're just getting out here and doing it. So anyway, let me go back to my point. And actually, I'm going to be real quick with this. So first of all, I would say if you're just having a conversation with your 18-year-old and you're just now saying, okay, what are you going to do? That's a problem. You've been with that child all your life. There should be some guidance. And number one, and number two, we have an inclination as we become older and more senior to be able to see where people's gifts and talents lie. So you should have already identified, that with your child. But if not, if you're behind the 8 ball, no condemnation. What do? Sit them down and have that conversation, because I do not believe that once a child becomes 18, that you're going to sit in a house, eat free food, watch TV all day. So we're going to be talking about what your life plan is, because I don't believe it's ever too late, because I had to devise my own life plan when I was 18, 19, 20 years old. So again, if you hadn't had the conversation, sit them down, have a conversation. You're going to work here and do something, until you figure it out. And if you have a plan, show me. But if you don't have a plan, here's what we're going to do to help you uncover what you're supposed to leave behind to this world. I believe, Joe, don't get me on this, but I just believe we all come here that we are a solution. And I believe that when we find out, who was it that said, the day you begin living is the day you find out why you were born.
Very true.
Mark Twain, is he the one that said that? Don't quote me on that one, but you find out your purpose. I believe the money will come. And so does that make sense?
It does. I can't quote Mark Twain, but I can quote Field of Dreams. You build it and they will come.
Yes.
Maya Angelou. If they show you who they is, believe them.
Okay. Look.
I only know that because of movies.
Look. Hashtag
Field of Dreams is a movie too.
Random quotes. Hashtag random quotes.
Hey, if you guys are just listening, if you're on TikTok, you got the one and only Keisha Sharp. She's in the building. My friend, my sister, my co-host on our brand new show that we started, podcast that we started last week on the Keisha Sharp Show. We're going to be live at the Filter Parlor Coffee Shop downtown. You guys make sure you come down. We're going to be there at 10 o'clock. And we're doing a show probably for about an hour and a half, I think we said we're going to be doing it for. But we're also going to be taking questions, taking pictures. And also we got a surprise guest that's going to be coming onto the show tomorrow. So you guys don't want to miss it. If you're not able to come down and hang out with us and have a cup of coffee, make sure you guys catch it on our social media pages, on the Jo Lockett Show or the Keisha Sharp page. Make sure y'all lock it into those pages tomorrow. And also we want to give a shout out to the Filter Parlor Coffee Shop for allowing us to host our events, our podcast there each and every week. So we want to give them a shout out. So if you want the best cup of coffee, I'm gonna suggest the butterscotch. The salty butterscotch coffee. It is the who? It is the what? It is the I love it. It's what
was that?
That's what you do for salty butterscotch, bro.
Like nephew sound effects, boy.
Bro, that is what you do, bro. It is the let me tell you, bro. That salty, bro. It brings it out in you. You know what I'm saying? It gets me in touch with my feminine. It gets me in touch with my feminine side, bro.
Wait a minute. I thought I was just gonna say feelings. Yo,
no,
feminine
my
side.
feminine side, bro. Bro, you know, I drink it with a pinky finger.
Guys have a feminine side, just like women have a masculine side.
Yeah, nephew, I drink that coffee with my pinky finger. You know what I'm saying? My pinky finger sticking out. It tastes so good. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you know you like it. You don't even know you're a coffee drinker. Don't be trying to sit there in front. I saw you licking the cup the other day, bro. Stop it. Stop it.
Hey, that coffee got me turned up into a coffee drinker, bro. I can't wait to be there tomorrow.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, man. And Keisha, I think Keisha drinks some kind of tea when
she do the tea. She do the tea.
And only y'all, I have to be careful about sinus stuff. So I have to be careful about milk products and all that kind of stuff. I love coffee though. I love a good what is it? The white chocolate mocha from Starbucks. So but you all are tempting me to want to try that tomorrow. And if he has like an almond milk or something like that, a cashew milk. They do.
Yeah, because they asked us, do we want the I just get the whole milk. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm not changing my phone. I like what I have.
I might have to try the coffee, but for you, y'all, Joe and nephew, you all will figure this out about me. I'm like this holistic health person, natural healing. So I'm doing the tea and during the spring, it's like the most peculiar time for people with, who are challenged at times with allergies. So I like to stay well. So the tea, that hot tea, that clear liquid works wonderful for me. So that's why I'm drinking it. But I can assure you, you all have rated this coffee, the salted butterscotch, so highly.
Yeah,
Try it.
that's the shiznick.
Really? Is it sweet?
That's the shiznick.
Is it sweet?
I'm telling you, yes. It's salty butterscotch sweet coffee.
That sounds good.
I'd say it's more creamy than it is sweet.
Yeah, because I don't taste a lot of sweet, but it's more. It got a twang to it because of the salt.
It fits us. We both of us. We got
salt
in the morning.
Let me just say this. I feel bougie when I drink that.
I do feel.
I feel bougie.
You saw I crossed my legs.
Yeah. You stick my pinky out when I'm drinking it. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I look down to the. Right. You know what I'm saying? Bro, and I'm not that kind of coffee that drink, all these different brands and all these, grande, yada yada, kuda power, whatever, right? I don't do all that, but that coffee right there, bro,
nice strong coffee.
I feel smart when I drink that. Tomorrow, that's when I drink that coffie. I can talk with Kisa. I can use good words tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I got a college degree when I'm drinking that.
Yeah, I graduated.
Yeah, I graduated from, I graduated, bro. That butterscotch, it just does something, man.
I graduated with honors in coffee.
Yeah,
you all do have a college degree. You have a college degree in the experience of life, and in 2024, let me tell you, that's probably the most valuable experience that we can have.
I got my cum matata.
We'll take that.
I got my cum matata. You know what I'm saying? I got my cum matata. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And so
listen. Hey, Joe, our friend Tony's on here. Tony said college is not necessary unless there is a definitive track or profession that you're interested in. However, experience may be required for other professions. Tony is on here commenting. Go, Tony.
Hey, Tony, that's my baby. I think she's in Kakalaki or Charlotte? Where's she at?
Yeah, she's actually in Charlotte. Yeah.
Hey, Tony. So yeah, I think and the biggest fight that we had earlier in the show, y'all, and if y'all on Kisa's page, make sure y'all like the Jo Lockett Show page. We go live for every single day from 4 to 6 every evening. Y'all missed the heated debate here, but yeah, we was talking about AI, right? And with the Chat GPT and everything coming along in 2024, by 2030, what does the world look like, and what are we telling our kids? And is it is it okay now to tell your kids to go to school, graduate, get a college degree? Because a lot of parents are paying for college degrees that would not be relevant in the next 2 years.
We talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
But I got a question, because I don't think most folks would think of these as trades, given how simple and easy it is to even try to learn it. Dancing. Mm-hmm. That can be considered a trade, because everybody can dance. Yeah, everybody can dance, but you labeled as a dancer, it's different money. Yeah, I play music and stuff like that. That's my trade. Yeah. A lot of folks can make music, but being a musician is indispensable in the music industry, because you can actually make everything that we auto produce and it sound completely different. Like I think it's simple stuff, and to go back to Miss Kisa's point, when you're dealing with your kid and you see how they coming off and the trajectory, because my folks they knew 3 things about me when I was little. I loved some music, I loved art, and I loved sports. It was visible, the passion I had in it. I didn't really even have to say it too many times. Right. They just saw it. Hey, when he around those 3, he different. Yeah. He different. But they identified that. And from there, it piqued my interest in it, and it built something in me to learn more. If it was gonna have something to pertain to that other stuff, like how Miss Tony said, experience mean a lot. I wouldn't be able to talk as diverse as I am if they didn't put me in these avenues and spark that in me for me to learn more to get better in those.
But you know, the biggest point that I was saying, a great point there, nephew. The thing I'm talking about, most of the workforce, you're going to 75% of the workforce is blue collar workers. What is that going to look like for our kids? Everybody kid is not going to be a superstar basketball player, football player, soccer, baseball, entertainer, rapper. That's not going to happen.
No.
Okay, that's a small percentage of our kids. I know you think your kid is the best, but most of our kids, that's not going to happen to them. Most of our kids are going to be just like we are in the workforce.
That's right.
Truthfully. And you don't have to answer the question on our show today, but I want the conversation in homes to start. What are my kids going to do when they graduate this year? For real. How are they going to make money? How do my kid get his or her first house?
Yeah.
I gave them their car, it's paid for. But how do they get their first house?
Yeah.
When you get married or she gets married, how are they going to be able to take care of each other and not live in my house? Yeah. What does that truly look like in 2024? The minimum wage in Birmingham, Alabama is $7.25. If your kid have no skill, the marketplace is saying right now, I will pay you $7.25 an hour. That's the reality. In Birmingham, Alabama, that is the minimum wage. So with that being understood, and your kids have no skill set, they're not going to college. Your kid is set up for failure in Birmingham, Alabama. So you got to start this conversation early, right? Yeah. Because you can say what I want, but you can't demand on no job your salary if you have no skill. Yeah. You can tell them I need to make more money, but the boss man don't give a damn about how much money you need to make if you can't go do the job he needs you to do. And a lot of jobs are not going to do on the job training. So parents, what are you teaching your kids in 2024 at the age of 13, 14, 15, and 16? Real talk, yes, you can start earlier. You need to start when they're in middle school and talking about these things and figuring it out. So by the time they turn 19, they have some generalized idea. You can't wait till they turn 18 and 19 years old and decide they don't want to go to college, and then you put them in the workforce because they can be sitting in your damn house. And no kids getting up anymore and going to these places and putting in applications. They go online. And if nobody calls them, guess what? I ain't getting no call today, mama. See, I put it in. Because guess what? There was no networking. Because I'm gonna tell you like this here. There are people right now, kids that are gonna graduate. And there are people, parents who know people that network and got folks, their kids gonna have a job soon as they graduate from high school.
That's right.
Okay.
That's
because of the networking. And parents, you need to make sure that when your kids are young, because they are kids, let your kids do internships at companies on the weekend.
That's good. School. That's good.
Internship companies, right? While they're in high school. Okay?
That's good.
Because that intern, once they leave high school, the company would do what for them? Most likely hire them, because guess what? They know their work ethic. They know their skill set, and they will already have the skill set to get the job once they graduate and start making full pay with benefits. These are the things that parents, we have to be more equipped. We got to think about doing for the next generation. Your kids is not going to be able to think fast enough at 19 years old to figure out what the hell they're going to do. Kisa just said on our show today that she changed her major 5 times. Your kid is not going to have the opportunity to do that. Let me say that once again. Your kid will not have the opportunity to change their major 5 times. AI is going to take over. What is your kid going to do? When they change their thing trying to figure it out, the world is moving forward. Your kid is moving farther and farther behind because they don't know what the hell they want to do at the age of 19 and 20. And that sounds very sad, but that's where we are. Because the world's going to move so fast. Your mistakes is going to cost your kid a lifetime. Their mistakes now will cost them 3 years, 5 years in what they're doing. When you're changing and starting all over, by the time they find out what they want to do the next time, that may not be there again.
Right.
See, you got to teach your kids this stuff now. You got to start thinking like that now for your kids, so your kids can start thinking like that when they get into the workplace. Because if you don't have them think about it and you shelter them at home and let them think everything's going to be okay, every time they screw up, they're coming back to you with nothing.
Oh, you just said a mouthful there about letting them make the mistakes too. Letting them screw up while they're there. That's a mouthful, Joe.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, because if your kid makes the mistakes, you can guide them along because they're still a kid. You're not
Absolutely.
expecting much from them. But when
Absolutely.
they become grown and they're
Absolutely.
not making any money, the
Yeah.
world looks at them different, and you start looking at your own kid a little bit different. I guess like, come on now, you need to step it up. But it's hard to step up in a world that thinks quicker than you. We will never be able to outthink these computers that are coming. We cannot. It's
Yeah.
impossible.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to adapt,
Yeah.
overcome, and improvise. And
Yeah.
we may not have the skills as parents to do that ourselves, but we can instill in our kids the skill sets how to survive, how to think about it, how to see the world. Go ahead, sis.
And you know what, Joe?
Uh-huh.
This is reminiscent of the panel that I was on last week at Miles College. We were talking about the communications profession and these college students who are coming out in light of Chat GPT and all of that. And I'm going to tell you something. Yeah, I get that I'm old school, but trust, I use Chat GPT. You use Chat GPT. I mean, it's a tool for all of us. So two things I'll say about it. Number one, there are just certain skills that cannot be taken away from you and that you can use concurrently. You can use alongside Chat GPT. For instance, as a communicator, I will say, for instance, nephew, okay, Chat GPT can't replace the production aspect. I'm sorry. Chat GPT is not going to be able to replace when we go and we produce these shows. Chat GPT cannot replace the production aspect, the setting up of the microphones. You understand? We're not going to have robots now. 50 years in the future, I don't know. You get my point on that? There's some things Chat GPT cannot replace. So these are some skills that you have to look at. I'm a writer, and I will say this: I can write my way out of a paper bag. And I'm glad Chat GPT is there. It's there as a resource, but there is a market for original and will always be, mark my words on this, even in the eye of Chat GPT, there will always be a market for original content. Chat GPT cannot replace the relational aspect. So that's one part. There are certain skills. So what am I saying, parents? Certain skills you want to teach your children or you want to encourage them in that a machine cannot replace. But you have to spend some time with them to see what they have an inclination toward. And you also, as a parent, have to do research to see in the next 20 years, 30 years, what are the skills that are not going to be replaceable by AI and all of this technological stuff. You've got to do some research to help your children. I had another thought and I just kind of forgot about it. So we'll come back to it there. But I do think it's really important. I do think it's really important that you learn. Oh, the other aspect that I was going to say, there are certain soft skills. Joe, I don't think I get hired now as an entrepreneur because of my talent. I get hired because of my soft skills. I don't think there's enough emphasis on that. There are other people who can write. There are other people. I'm a contractor with the Birmingham Times, so I write stories of the Birmingham Times. I cover things like city council and different things in the community. And I get hired. I get the opportunities because of my soft skills, because of the fact that I can network, because I know how to sell myself, because I know how to maintain relationships. People will give me things that they may not give other people. When I go, because of my ability to market for whatever company that I work for, I go with the express idea. I'm going to make that company look good. So not only am I doing a job, I'm also bringing the positivity and a certain image for that company. So I don't know that we talk enough about the soft skills. Joe, I look at you. You do a great job of selling, y'all. I don't care if you have, if you want to have a strip of beach land in Iceland. We know that doesn't exist, but I bet you Joe could sell it for you. He's very good about doing it. He can talk to people. He can talk to people, and he can just make things happen. AI can't replace that.
Thank you.
AI can't do that. Some of you, your children, they have the ability to be able to talk and make things happen and make people believe. And they are influencers and they are leaders. AI, Chat GPT, and all of those other forums and platforms cannot replace that. So will we have competition? Yes. But all we're doing, it's like a recalibrating. You know how the GPS recalibrates and it has to, it has to it kind of recalibrates and kind of resets your directions. We are in a generational, and we are in an industrial, and we are in a technological recalibration. Our kid, because see, the kids aren't the kids aren't coming out like we were. They're coming out smarter.
Right.
All they know is this. They're all, they're sitting down, and while you're teaching them, we work with a program in which we're coaches. The kids are sitting down and they're recording themselves just as they're eating. It's my understanding that recently that a kid was recording something that happened in a school. They can go viral and start making money at age 10. They can make videos and start going viral at age 15, okay, or whatever age that they do. So we are just recalibrating right now. And what I'm saying is, it's going to take time. It's going to take that parent specifically working with that child, talking to that child, and also being educated to understand this child. Because think about it, bruh. Why would God, if the greatest weapon that we have is our unique ability? God, every person that's here on this earth is here at a certain dispensation of time. There is no way that you can't tell me that God in his infinite wisdom didn't see AI coming, attempting to steal what's up here. No. The greatest thing that we have, parents, the greatest thing that we have, adults, is what is between our ears, because AI will try to emulate it. And see, that's the thing. That's why you have to have these talks with your kids. You understand? And that's why you have to have these talks with yourselves and say, wait a minute now, AI, I know AI is powerful, but AI is trying to emulate. I'll give you an example. It's kind of like a guy with a blow-up doll. I saw Life Jennings on Instagram, and he had a blow-up doll, and he said, "Oh, meet my new girlfriend. She was a blow-up doll." He was like, "She doesn't talk back. She does everything I want her to do." Yeah, that's fine. And it was a joke. It was a joke. But it's just like if y'all had a blow-up doll. I know sometimes you want it, because y'all say as women, we talk too much sometimes. That's another story for another day. But that blow-up doll can't hug you back. That blow-up doll can't speak words of encouragement to you. That blow-up doll cannot give you a back rub. You understand where I'm going with it. There's certain things, and I'm always going to be pro people. And I will go till the end saying I'm always going to be pro people. Yeah. Chat GPT is great. AI is great. But let me tell you something. God is smarter, I believe. And his people, we're smarter, because we're the freaking ones who created Chat GPT. Right. We're smarter.
Love it.
I say this. Hey, Joe, I always say this about my dog. Like, she thinks she has all the sense in the world. And sometimes she'll get it doing things. And I will say to her, I'm smarter than you. Your dog. You may have gotten one up on me. AI may have gotten one up on us right now. It may appear, but we're smarter. And these kids, they're brilliant. So the thing I'm waiting to see is how they're going to take AI and remix that freaking thing and go above and beyond.
And I agree with you on that, but I do believe, one of the most important things you said is and that's what we was talking about on the show today. The parents got to start a different conversation. You can't give them the dinosaur conversation of, go to school, get an education, and get a job. That's not going to work. That conversation is dead.
That's right.
So great. And Kisa, thank you so much for joining the show. Make sure you guys lock it in live with Kisa and Joe tomorrow at the Filter Coffee Parlor downtown next to International Pancake House. We will be there live drinking our bougie coffee and having a great show. We have a special guest lineup for you guys tomorrow. I ain't gonna tell y'all what it is, but Kisa, thank you so much for joining the show. You guys go ahead and follow Kisa on her page at KEISA, Kisa Sharp. Y'all know where to follow us, and you know how I feel about us, right? Jitem temo aistemas e liberty. What does all that mean? It means Kisa, nephew, and Jo Lockett. That means we love you. You guys have a great night.
See y'all later.
Deuces.
Bye.
Hey, Sandra. Bye. AI is maintained.